This is Dr. Rosie Kuhn, and this podcast series is called Spiritual Immersion, Taking the Plunge. And the intention of this podcast is to support and empower you to, explore who you are in this human experience and to inevitably explore the part of you that's the spiritual being having this human experience and coming to an integration process. I mean, this is all about integrating who you are at your highest level as a spiritual being and your highest level as a human being. And it's a lot of work. And we can do it as slow as we want. We can ignore it and deny it, or we can take the plunge. It's really a very personal experience. So these podcasts are to support and empower you to take a look at who you are in this process. You can listen to or hear or read what other people have done, the masters, the yogis, the gurus who have been around for thousands and thousands of years, and then be able to say, here's what works for me. And it's really a process of coming to find what works for you, rather than what works for other people should work for you. So the more that you can own what works for you, the higher quality of life you'll experience on so many levels. So that's kind of what I'm talking about today, is there's layers and layers and layers and layers of this work. And a lot of times you've probably heard the analogy of the onion skins, one tiny little layer at a time. And that's kind of what it can be like for us. Sometimes maybe a whole chunk falls off, but we have to go back and begin layer by layer by layer to unfold what's going on, what's happened. Quite often people have a spiritual immersion process. Perhaps they had a near-death experience or an out-of-body experience or a presence or a visitation, any number of experiences, even a sunset or the birth of a child can bring extraordinary experiences to one's life. And then to integrate that experience can take decades, can take a lifetime. It's really a very human, very individual level and very individual process. And so, for instance, a friend of mine, we'll call her Carol. Carol had an experience when she had the birth of her first child, and she was with her child, and all of a sudden she felt this river of love just flow through her, just extraordinarily amazing experience. It was just so profound, and so that was 50 some years ago. And Carol has always wanted to experience that again, not only experience, but live it every single day. And so now she's in her 70s and she's going, I'm ready to really own that. And so she's a client of mine and really working out, how do you bring that, how does she bring that into her life every single day, that level of golden beauty, love that's just so tremendously huge. And so she's been chasing it, if you will, for 50 some years, and finally has the tenacity, the commitment to really say, okay, I want to own this. I really want to live in this level of love in my life always. Now, over the few months that we've been working together probably 4 months, maybe 5. She's come closer to eliminating what gets in the way. And in my previous podcasts, I've talked about that perspective of, the river of love for her is this limitless, unconditional love. And so what we've been discovering, and she's been revealing for herself, are all the layers of limited thinking, all the constraints, all the ways that she has just thought was normal to think and feel. And as we talk, and as she explores, and as she gets deeper into the curiosity, she's revealing more and more of what's in the way of this limitless beauty and love. And so, as we're uncovering these layers, we think, aha, I finally got it. She's like, oh, I've arrived, I've got it. And then it's like, well, sort of. And that's the name of the book, the most recent book that's coming out in the next week or two. It's October, the middle of October. It'll probably be out by the end of this month. But the title of the book is called "I've Arrived." Well, sort of, because we come over this place over and over and over again of, oh my God, I'm here. I finally got here. I can see it all, can experience it all. And then it's like, oh, well, maybe there's more. And there's always more. So quite often also this over and over again shows up in our relationship with people we love, in relation to money, relationship to work, our careers, relation to our health. All of these places are elements or circumstances that we explore over and over and over again, making progress, but then finding ourselves slipping back. And when we slip back, we think, oh my God, I'm not doing it right. Slipping back as in, there's more I should be doing. I should take another course. I should take another class. I should do something else different. And quite often that slipping back is a process. It is a process. It's not quite often. It's like always a process. The 2-step forwards, the 1 step back, or in this case, layers upon layers. It's like sometimes the layers come off and sometimes layers come back on. And it's because we have more to do at the deeper level. In a sense, the way I like to do it is that when I think about it, and is sort of like Sherlock Holmes, is that there's clues. And there's sometimes it doesn't appear to be any reason or clue available. But if we sit long enough and go, what's the source of this thing keep returning over and over again, we are able to go, oh, here's what's been playing out over and over again. In the last previous podcast, I talked about, or two, I talked about the challenge I'm having with a friend of mine. And, it's the same challenge I've had with my parents and my siblings and my husbands and my children. It's the same process. It's the same dilemma that I keep showing up in. And the bottom line is that there's a belief that says I'm at the mercy of them. And I'm at the mercy of the politics, or I'm at the mercy of the COVID virus, or I'm at the mercy of my husband or my parents, or whatever it is where I feel like I don't have the power to make a choice for myself. And that is at the source of so many of the challenges in my life, to say I'm at the mercy of them, which means I'm not empowered to make my own choices. Now, it's taken me decades to get to the next level of the source of that, to say, no, this is it feels like this is the source, that I'm at the mercy, the belief, the source is the belief or the core decision I made a long time ago. And that whether it was this lifetime or a previous lifetime, it's something that's so core to our being, where most of us are not conscious of it, that we have this. Perhaps like being at the mercy of someone is like I'm the victim, and in that victim consciousness, there's so much to unravel, layers and layers and layers of cellular memory, of emotions, of energetic expression of that, and here it comes up again for me in this relationship with a friend that's like, wow, I'm at the mercy of him. There it is again. And what do I need to do to shift that to a different orientation, a different attitude, a different consciousness, to say, I can choose differently. I can choose to see myself not at the mercy of him, and that I'm not 100% relying on him or dependent on him for whatever it is I thought that I was. So taking back and owning my old beliefs, and beliefs that I didn't even know existed, and patterns of resonance or habits that are just there. A friend of mine, I'll call her Marjorie. I just keep using the names over and over, but I'm making up names. But this person has been living in a different country, and she's been finding it very challenging for so long. And but at the same time, she's really embraced the beauty of where she's at and the beauty of what's true for her there. And she's been able to ignore or avoid the other stuff, but not anymore. Now those layers of places where she felt that she was at the mercy of, I'm using that as her thing as well as mine, but that place where you go, wait a second, I don't have to live with betrayal or with frustration or aloneness or isolation. I don't have to live with that anymore. I can change that. And to really live in the source of that is where we get to beyond, we get through the layers and more layers and more layers. So we go, wait a second, I don't have to live that way anymore. I don't have to live as if I'm at the mercy of something. And generally it is at the mercy of something, even if it's at the mercy of our own belief system. We're at the mercy of that. If I believe I'm at the mercy of my own belief that I can't make money, enough money to really feel fulfilled and grateful at that level of prosperity, I'm at the mercy of that belief system. And that's what this is all about, is we're supposedly changing and transforming our belief system so that we can see we're full 100% potentiality, 100% limitlessness, zero limits. And when we can do that, all kinds of stuff shows up. All kinds of great stuff shows up. Good stuff shows up. And in terms of, we say good stuff or bad stuff. The good stuff shows up in terms of, wow, this amazing opportunities or the people that are coming to support me in ways that I never expected, or all kinds of fun stuff. And also opportunities that challenge me to continue to take off one layer at a time, or to look at what's at the bottom, at the source of what's the source of this source of this source of this, what's showing up today. So we're always being challenged to enjoy and embrace the good stuff, the wonderful stuff, the joyous, rapturous stuff, and also to embrace like, oh, here's another learning opportunity. What's the next layer of this that I'm coming to know about? It's like any game, internet game. We're always up leveling. We're always being challenged to up level our level of wisdom, intelligence, clarity, courage, strength. We're always engaged in this opportunity as long as we're on the planet, and my understanding is when we're off the planet as well. So that's pretty much it for today. If you have any questions, or if you'd be interested in working with me as a coach around some of these issues for you, please don't hesitate to email me at rosie@theparadigmshifts.com. I have a lot of books that are available on Amazon or Barnes & Nobles or your local bookstores. You just have to ask for them. And you can find those at Amazon or Barnes & Nobles, or read it, or the podcast, this podcast, and the podcast Aging Like a Guru. Who, me? So lots of books, and you can find all of this information on my website, theparadigmshifts.com. All right, big hugs, blessings to you, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.